Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thanksgiving. And that right there, that is the reason for this lesson. Today's lesson, I want to talk to you about Thanksgiving. So, today in the US, they're celebrating Thanksgiving, and I want to talk to you about some of the vocabulary words that are associated with Thanksgiving, as well as tell you a little bit about this family holiday if you don't know that much about it, and kind of share with you because I am happy to be with you guys today on this Thanksgiving Day. So, if you are joining us again, just let us know where you're coming from and what your name is. And if you are watching this later, again, write to us in the comments. Let us know your name. Let us know what country you're from. Let us know anything about yourself. We'd like hearing from everybody. Patricia from France, hello. How are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. So, again, as I was saying, Tunisia, Francisco from Mexico, Vietnam, Laura from Argentina. Awesome. Great to have you guys. I'm going to talk to you today about Thanksgiving, okay? Because this is an important American holiday. So it is kind of a cultural lesson as well to learn a little more about the holiday and talk to you about some of the vocabulary words associated with this holiday. And I'm going to have some questions for you guys that you can write to us in the comments and share with us. And again, if you're watching this later, also I encourage you to answer the questions and interact. So let's start out with a very simple question, which is, what the heck is Thanksgiving? Okay, so maybe you've heard of this holiday. Okay, it is a very popular holiday in the United States, which is where Joanna and I are from. We are from the U.S. But the first thing that I think you should know about Thanksgiving, it is a family holiday. Probably when I think of family holidays, I think of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those are the two main holidays where people want to be with their families. Now, the reason Thanksgiving came about is it was a way of saying thanks. It was a way of being thankful for the new harvest. So this started a long time ago when most people were farming, and every fall they would harvest new crops. And they were thankful for that new harvest. They were thankful for the food, and everybody would come together, and that is kind of how Thanksgiving began. Awesome. We got more people. Jose from Ecuador, Russia. Welcome, guys. Nicaragua. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Jose. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I'm happy to be celebrating with you guys today right here. The other thing you should know about Thanksgiving is it's not just an American holiday, all right? It is also celebrated in Canada, in some of the Caribbean islands, not all of them. And interestingly enough, it's also celebrated in Liberia, which is a small country in Western Africa. So I hope I don't get this wrong. So in the US, we celebrate Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday of November. So which is today. So we celebrate it on the fourth Thursday of November. In Canada, they celebrate Thanksgiving on the first Monday of October, which, that makes sense. Canada is further north, so they're going to harvest their crops a little sooner, so they celebrate it on the first Monday. And Liberia celebrates Thanksgiving on the first Thursday of November. So even though several countries celebrate Thanksgiving, people celebrate it at different times. And we're having this lesson today because, as I said, I'm American. We're celebrating Thanksgiving today, which is the fourth Thursday. So if you did not know it already, these are some of the other countries that Thanksgiving is celebrated in. And one question that I had for you guys, all right, is, again, I said Thanksgiving, it's a big family holiday. What is the big family holiday in your country? Okay, which holiday do you guys celebrate? Write it in the comments. That is probably maybe the most important family holiday where everybody comes together and they're visiting their relatives. Maybe they have a certain meal. I have no idea. Let us know. Write it in the chat. Write it in the comments. What is the big family holiday in your country? I'd like to know because obviously in the US, Thanksgiving is a major family holiday. So right now, everybody is back home. They're with their family, they're with their friends, and they are celebrating Thanksgiving. So let us know which holiday in your country is a big family holiday. I got some Lunar New Year, Christmas, of course, Argentina. It's very similar, same in the US. Excellent. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for sharing. So, the other thing is I want to say about Thanksgiving before I tell you about the vocabulary words is when you think of Thanksgiving, or at least when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of food. All right. That is a big part of Thanksgiving is the food. Because as I said, it all started, people are celebrating the harvest when people are harvesting their crops. So, Thanksgiving is all about food. And I put a list together. There are a lot of different types of food that people will eat around Thanksgiving, but the main one, the main one is turkey, of course. Turkey is the big one. Now, not every family is going to be the same and eat the same food, but for the most part, many of the foods that people eat, turkey, potatoes, corn, stuffing, pies like pumpkin pie, that's a big one. Rolls, carrots, mac and cheese, one of my favorites. So Thanksgiving is a big food holiday. So if you love food, then you'd probably like Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for sharing. Eid and Ramadan, yes, excellent. Big family holiday. Lunar New Year in Mongolia. Oh, interesting. And Christmas in Ecuador. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing. So, this is some of the food that people will eat around Thanksgiving time. Turkey, of course, that is the main one, turkey. So let's get into some of the Thanksgiving vocabulary. Okay, so these are some words that are associated with Thanksgiving. Some of them maybe you already know because they're commonly used outside of this holiday season. Others maybe you haven't heard of. So the first one is a feast. Okay, so when you have a feast, it is a large meal and it's typically to celebrate something. So what kind of feast do people have? I asked you about the family holiday. What kind of feast do people have? What do people eat in your country for these holidays, whether it's Lunar New Year or Thanksgiving? Share with us in the chat. Share with us in the comments. Want to hear from you guys. So in Argentina, salads, fruits, asado, excellent. In Algeria, Central City, Yenayer is an important family holiday. I had no idea. See, this is what I love about these classrooms is that we can learn so much from each other. So in the chat, in the comments, let me know what kind of feast do you guys have during these holidays? What kind of food are you eating? Because I think when people get together and they celebrate a major holiday, everybody's usually eating, all right? They have a feast. They come together. There is a lot of different food that we have, and we can say it is a feast, all right? The next one, this is one of my favorites again. This is another Thanksgiving, very common, is gravy, all right? Gravy. When I think of Thanksgiving, I think of gravy. All right, notice see my big smile there. It is a sauce with meat juices and flour. So you put gravy on turkey, you would put gravy on stuffing, on mashed potatoes, you could put it on your veggies. Honestly, you could put gravy on a shoe and it tastes pretty good to me, probably. I love gravy. The last word, this one that I want to talk to you about on this page at least, maybe it's a word you haven't heard of, cornucopia. So if you're wondering, well, what is a cornucopia? That picture right there, all right, over there, that is a picture of a cornucopia, and it is a symbol. It is a symbol of kind of a lot of food. It is a symbol of plenty. And it just means that there is an ample supply of something, that there's enough. So it's not always used when we're talking about food. So you could use it in other ways as well. So, for example, if you go to an amusement park or something like that, you could say, oh, there was a cornucopia of activities. All right. There was a cornucopia of something, which basically means that there was plenty, there was enough, there was a lot of it. All right. There was a cornucopia of activities, there was a cornucopia of food. It just means there is plenty. So that is a cornucopia. The next set of words is this. The first one is a pilgrim. And a pilgrim, I think many of you have possibly heard of this word because it's not just associated with Thanksgiving, but a pilgrim is a person who journeys a long distance for some religious reason. And in the U.S., when Thanksgiving came about, they say it started by the Pilgrims. So the Pilgrims came to the U.S. from Europe, and they looked kind of like that little cartoonish person right there. That is a pilgrim, and they harvested the crops, and that's kind of how it began. But as I said, a pilgrim is also any person for any kind of long distance for a religious reason. So, for example, also it makes me think of the Santiago Trail in Spain. Many people will go hike that trail, and they are considered pilgrims when they do that. Or, for example, many Muslim men, they will go to do the pilgrimage in the Hajj. They will go to Mecca and do that. And that is a pilgrimage. So pilgrim is used in a lot of different forms. It's not just, of course, it's not just for Thanksgiving, but it is a person who will travel for religious reasons. The other one, this is another important word right there, number 2, is gratitude. Because when you talk about Thanksgiving, again, one thing that people do is they say what they are thankful for. Okay, so for example, I am thankful for all of you guys being here right now and joining this lesson. So in the comments, again, let me know, what are you guys thankful for? Again, let's kind of make this our little Thanksgiving lesson and kind of make it a part of your day. So write something. What are you thankful for? Are you thankful for, your friends, your family? Are you thankful for a new job? Maybe, or you might be thankful for the new iPhone if you got that. I have no idea. You can be thankful for many different things. So share with us in the comments, what is something you guys, what are you thankful for? All right, let us know. But to say that you're thankful is showing gratitude. All right. It is the quality of being thankful. And it's often used as a collocation with the word show. All right. You show gratitude for something, or you show gratitude to someone. All right. So remember that those are the words. It's gratitude is commonly used after the word show. You show gratitude. Again, show gratitude to someone or show gratitude for something. All right. Patricia, thank you. Patricia, thank you very much. You're thankful for this great lesson. Well, again, I am thankful for all of you guys being here with me today. The last word on this page is carve. And the reason I used carve is because Thanksgiving, the main food is turkey. And before you eat, before you serve the turkey, you have to carve the turkey. Now, carve can be talking about food, which is cutting meat into slices, or it can just be talking about cutting something to produce, it could be an object or just a work of art, anything. So, for example, you could carve your name into a tree. Maybe you've seen that before on a tree. Somebody's taken a knife and they've carved their initials. Jose, I'm thankful for my family, my wife and daughters. That is a great reason to be thankful for. Excellent. Thanks for sharing. Um, Amano, hi. Excellent. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. We are talking about Thanksgiving vocabulary. All right. So even if you're watching this lesson later on, practice, use it in the comments, practice writing, write to us. Let us know, what are you thankful for? What's something you're thankful for? Now, the last set of vocabulary words that I'd like to go over with you are these right here. Now, the first one is abundance. And this just means that there is a large quantity of something. So oftentimes it's used referring to, could be a meal where, for example, at Thanksgiving, there is an abundance of food. All right, that's pretty standard. There's usually an abundance of food. There is a large quantity of food. All right, but it can be used to talk about other things. All right, we had an abundance of employees, we had an abundance of people working on the project. An abundance can be used in many different ways, but it is talking about a large quantity of something. All right. And I'm a chicken and couscous is a traditional meal. Excellent. Welcome, Long. Great. Thanks for joining us. So if you have an abundance of food, which many people do at Thanksgiving, then you often have our second word right there, which is leftovers. Okay. So leftovers, I think in English, again, most of the time it's talking about food when you're talking about leftovers. And in general, it's something, again, especially food, that's remaining after the rest has been used. So at Thanksgiving, what happens because there is an abundance of food, there's a large quantity of food, there is almost always, people don't eat all the food. You eat as much as you want, as much as you can, and then there are leftovers. You wrap up the rest of the food, you put it in the refrigerator, and you save it for the next day. A lot of times people have food for the next week. There are a lot of leftovers. But again, you can have leftovers if you go out to dinner, if you go out to a restaurant and you don't eat your entire meal, or if people don't eat everything, you have leftovers. And then depending on the restaurant, depending on the country, I know everybody's a little different. Some people will take those leftovers, they'll take them home and they'll microwave them and eat them later. So leftovers is talking about food that is leftovers. So yes, excellent. Thanks, Patricia. I like leftovers too because yes, you don't have to cook, and it's always just it's always just good to eat up the food. It's good to eat up your leftovers. So the last word right here is this one, wishbone, and it's not the most common Thanksgiving term, but it is a forked bone, just like that picture. Now, the reason I put a wishbone on there is because in the US, in America, I don't know if it's the same in other countries, is that you will have the wishbone, and sometimes you're eating turkey Thanksgiving, so there might be a wishbone, and it's called a wishbone because one person grabs one side, the other person grabs the other side of the bone, and you start to pull it apart, and the bone, it breaks. Now, the person with the larger piece of the bone gets to make a wish. All right. So two people will take the bone, they'll pull it apart. Whoever has the larger piece gets to make a wish. Therefore, it's called a wishbone. All right. Again, that is something that people will believe in America and kind of have fun with this. I don't know if it's used in many other countries or cultures. Maybe you can tell me if it's used in yours. But those are 9 important Thanksgiving vocabulary words that I wanted to talk to you about today. So, again, thank you guys so much for joining me today on this very special Thanksgiving Day. If you have any questions, comments about Thanksgiving, please, 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 please write them in the comments. Write us any questions that you have. We always try to answer you guys and get back to you. And again, you can join our social media classes, which are right down there. We say they're classes because we're always posting questions, we're posting information to help you guys learn a bit more and improve your English skills. So, Long, thanks for joining us. Patricia, thank you so much. Mariangelis, thank you very much. Again, Jose, thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and hopefully, after watching this, you've learned a little more about Thanksgiving, about the holiday, maybe a little more about American culture. And yeah, that's great. It's always good to share. I know I've learned a little more today thanks to all of you. So, again, thank you guys so much for being with me today, and we will see you very shortly. All right, bye. Happy Thanksgiving.